The gleaming transparent doors of Crest and Curl parted with a soft hiss as Milo Jenkins stepped into what would become either his greatest career move or his most spectacular failure. The Salon, perched on the upper ring of Nexus Station, was unlike any workspace he'd encountered on Earth. Surfaces that shifted from matte to reflective depending on the angle, gravity-defying styling stations that rotated to accommodate various anatomical needs, and styling tools that hummed with unfamiliar energy signatures. "You're late, human," came a melodic but stern voice. Proprietor Thex approached with a graceful undulation of her iridescent crest. The Sylvanian's four eyes assessed Milo with clinical precision. "Your transport docked 17 minutes ago." "Sorry," Milo managed, still taking in the 6 different species currently receiving various grooming treatments. "Had to go through extended decontamination. Apparently humans have more microbiomes than expected." Thex's upper lip ridge twitched, the Sylvanian equivalent of a smirk. "Unsurprising, your species is remarkably hospitable to other life forms." A spindly stylist with bark-like skin at the nearest station snorted, a sound like bamboo chimes in the wind. "Hospitable is one way to describe it. Primitive is another. Thex, are we really employing a creature that still grows keratin filaments from their dermal layer?" "Careful, Krell," Thex warned. "Our new specialist comes highly recommended from the Sol system, and need I remind you that 30% of our clientele now have keratin-based modifications. Fashion is fickle, and currently Earth-inspired aesthetics are quite profitable." Milo tried not to stare at the clientele. A Doraxian with vibrating tentacle-like appendages receiving a luminescent treatment. A pair of Rex twins whose feather scales were being meticulously arranged in matching patterns. A hulking Taurid whose spinal ridges were being polished to a military-grade shine. "I studied xenophysiology before barber school," Milo offered, setting down his case of carefully packed tools. "And I've been practicing on synthetic models of various species for months." "Models are not the same as living tissue," sniffed Krell, their wooden fingers manipulating a complex array of hovering tools around their client's head. From across the salon, a younger stylist with gossamer skin that shimmered like opal caught Milo's eye. Unlike the others, she seemed curious rather than dismissive. "Let him prove himself, Krell. We've all heard about human dexterity. Those fingers with multiple joints might be useful for the more delicate procedures." "Thank you, Vila," Thex nodded. "Indeed, we'll see what our Earth specialist can do. Your first client arrives in 10 minutes, an Altarian diplomat with a rather complex ridge structure. Their previous stylist retired after failing to properly maintain the ceremonial patterns required for their rank." Milo swallowed hard, "An Altarian on my first day. Is that a problem?" All 4 of Thex's eyes narrowed simultaneously. "No," Milo said, though his voice betrayed his nerves. "Just, starting with the advanced course, I see." Vila floated over, her translucent form casting prismatic reflections across the floor. "I'll help you prepare the station. Altarians prefer specific atmospheric conditions during grooming. Their ridges are more pliable at 68% humidity." As Vila guided him to his assigned station, Milo caught her studying his hair with unconcealed fascination. "Is it true that human hair continues growing after death?" she asked quietly. "That's actually a myth," Milo replied, finding her directness oddly refreshing after the cool reception from the others. "The skin recedes, making it appear longer." "Fascinating," Vila murmured, "and you cut your own, it has shape, intention." Milo ran a hand through his precisely faded haircut. "I did, it's how I practice new techniques." Before Vila could respond, the salon's entrance chimed again, and an imposing figure ducked through the doorway. The Altarian diplomat was nearly 7 feet tall, with a cascade of ridge-like protrusions running from crown to shoulders, each adorned with bioluminescent nodules arranged in complex patterns. "Specialist Jenkins," Thex announced with professional smoothness, "your first client has arrived. Ambassador Drolkin requires refreshing of their ceremonial ridge patterns before tonight's trade delegation." As all eyes in the salon turned to watch, Milo took a deep breath and stepped forward. Earth's reputation in the galactic beauty industry, and possibly his future on Nexus Station, now rested entirely in his hands. Ambassador Drolkin's visit had been the talk of Crest and Curl for days following Milo's surprising success. The human's nimble fingers had not only refreshed the Altarian's ceremonial patterns, but had subtly enhanced their luminosity by introducing a technique from Earth's old-world barbering, a gentle buffing method that brought out natural oils without damaging the delicate ridge structure. "I still don't understand it," Krell muttered during their morning preparation ritual. "The human used ancient manual tools, no sonic oscillators, no quantum follicle aligners, just metal and plastic." Their wooden fingers clicked together in obvious disapproval. Vila, carefully arranging her crystalline styling implements, shot Milo a sympathetic glance. Sometimes primitive methods yield superior results. The ambassador has already booked 3 follow-up appointments. Beginner's luck, Krell insisted, their bark-like skin darkening in frustration. Wait until they have to handle a Mercivian molt or a Phaedraxian spine rotation. Milo continued setting up his station in silence. After 2 weeks at Crest and Curl, he'd learned that responding to Krell's barbs only encouraged them. Instead, he focused on arranging his tools, scissors, razors, combs, and brushes that had belonged to his grandfather, alongside the more advanced alien technology Thex had provided. Jenkins, Thex's melodic voice interrupted his thoughts. Your 9 o'clock has arrived, Mercivian dignitary, 3rd phase of molt cycle. Krell's smug expression said everything. I've read about Mercivian molt cycles, Milo said, trying to project confidence he didn't feel, but I've never handled one. Then today provides an excellent learning opportunity, Thex replied, all 4 eyes blinking in sequence, her species equivalent of encouragement. The Mercivian client was a swirling mass of translucent tendrils currently caught between shedding and regeneration phases. Many tendrils hung limply, their outer casings ready to be removed, while new growth twisted beneath seeking freedom. Greetings, Earth Stylist, the Mercivian's voice emanated from somewhere within the writhing mass. I am T. Elrix. I understand you practice unusual techniques. I do my best, Milo answered, circling the floating creature, mentally cataloging which tendrils needed attention. May I? He asked, reaching toward a particularly dull section. You may proceed. Milo took a deep breath and began. Unlike his alien colleagues who would have used automated extractors, he applied a warm herbal solution he'd prepared, chamomile, aloe, and a touch of mint, modified with station-approved xenobotanicals. The effect was immediate, the hardened casings softened. Your approach is unorthodox, T. Elrix commented as Milo's fingers worked through the tendrils, gently separating old growth from new. On Earth, we believe the connection between stylist and client matters, Milo explained, carefully working through a particularly tangled section. Tools are just extensions of intent. Across the salon, Vila had paused her own work to observe, her opalescent skin glimmering with interest. Even Krell shot occasional glances, their skepticism momentarily interrupted by curiosity. By the time Milo finished, T. Elrix's tendrils were flowing with renewed vigor, the new growth shimmering with health. Remarkable, the Mercivian declared. I have not experienced such comfort during a molt transition in many cycles. After T. Elrix departed, leaving a generous tip and booking a standing appointment, Vila floated to Milo's side. That was impressive. Your hands-on approach. There's something almost intimate about it compared to our automated systems. That's the tradition where I come from, Milo explained, cleaning his implements. Barbering isn't just about the cut, it's about care. Their conversation was interrupted by a commotion at Krell's station. A Phaedraxian ambassador was buzzing with distress, their spine quills vibrating at an alarming frequency. This is unacceptable, the ambassador hissed. The diplomatic reception is in 3 hours and my ceremonial quill arrangement is ruined. Krell's wooden features were frozen in panic. I followed the traditional Phaedraxian pattern exactly as. It's outdated, my counterpart will see this as a deliberate insult. The ambassador's translator device barely kept pace with their agitated clicking. Thex intervened with practiced diplomacy. Perhaps our Earth specialist could offer an alternative approach. All eyes turned to Milo, who felt his heart race. Phaedraxian spine quills were notoriously difficult to work with, rigid yet fragile, and connected to sensitive nerve clusters. I can try, he said, stepping forward, if the ambassador permits. The Phaedraxian's multifaceted eyes swiveled toward him. A human working on ceremonial quills. Please, Excellency, Thex urged. Specialist Jenkins has demonstrated unusual skill with difficult textures. After a moment's hesitation, the ambassador relented. Very well, but be warned, these quills are connected directly to my central nervous system. As Milo began working, Vila quietly moved to his side, passing him specialized oils and whispering occasional advice about Phaedraxian physiology. Their fingers brushed several times, sending an unexpected warmth through Milo's body. An hour later, the ambassador departed with quills arranged in a stunning asymmetrical pattern that honored tradition while incorporating subtle Earth-inspired elements. A design that would signal both respect for history and openness to new ideas. You saved us from a diplomatic incident, Thex acknowledged later, her crest rippling with relief. I had help, Milo replied, glancing at Vila, who ducked her luminescent head in a gesture of modesty. Krell, however, merely clicked their wooden fingers dismissively. Novelty and spectacle, the fascination with human techniques will pass. But as three more clients requested the human's touch that afternoon, even Krell couldn't deny that something was changing at Crest and Curl, and perhaps throughout Nexus Station itself. That evening, as the salon closed, Vila lingered near Milo's station. "Some of us are gathering at the Celestial Fountain observation deck after hours," she said, her voice musical in the quiet salon. "Would you care to join? I'm curious to learn more about Earth styling traditions." For the first time since arriving on Nexus Station, Milo felt like he might actually belong. "I'd like that," he replied, his smile reflected in Vila's shimmering skin. The Celestial Fountain wasn't actually a fountain, but a spectacular nebula visible through Nexus Station's eastern viewport, swirling gases in purples and blues that seemed to flow like cosmic water. Milo found it breathtaking, but not nearly as captivating as watching the lights play across Vila's translucent form as she described the ancient styling traditions of her homeworld. "Our elders spend decades perfecting the art of light refraction through body manipulation," she explained, her fingers creating intricate patterns in the air. "What takes me hours with tools, they can achieve simply by altering their molecular density." "That's incredible," Milo said. "On Earth we just have, well, hair." "Yet look what your species has done with such a simple medium," Vila replied. "I've been studying your planet's styling history. Mohawks, beehives, pompadours, creating identity through keratin arrangement. It's fascinating." Their conversation flowed easily, from styling techniques to cultural differences to personal journeys. Milo shared stories of his grandfather's old-world barbershop where he'd first learned to cut hair, while Vila described her difficult decision to leave her crystalline homeworld to study multi-species aesthetics. "I've never met anyone who sees beauty quite the way you do," Vila admitted as the station's night cycle dimmed the ambient lighting. Her form glowed softly in the darkness, illuminating the space between them. Milo felt his heart quicken. "I could say the same about you." When her luminescent hand tentatively reached for his, the contact sent pleasant shivers through his system, like static electricity but warmer, deeper. Their touch created a soft halo of light where skin met crystalline form. The following weeks brought a transformation to Crest and Curl. Word had spread about the human stylist with magic hands, and appointments were booked weeks in advance. Milo began introducing Earth-inspired techniques adapted for various alien physiologies, deep conditioning treatments for Dorsaxian tentacles, texturizing for Vrex feather scales, and a modified version of traditional hot towel treatments that worked wonders on almost every species. "We need to expand," Thex announced during a staff meeting, her four eyes bright with excitement. "Inquiries are coming in from 3 different sectors. Even the Galactic Colonial Administration has requested a presentation on human styling methodologies." Krell, who had begrudgingly begun incorporating some of Milo's techniques into their own work, shifted uncomfortably. "Are we not becoming too dependent on Earth influences? Some clients are requesting styles that have no cultural relevance to their species." "Fashion evolves," Krell, Thex responded, "and currently it's evolving in a very profitable direction." With the salon's growing success came innovation. Milo and Vila began collaborating on hybrid tools and techniques. Her knowledge of xenophysiology combined with his tactile approach created stunning results. They developed the Terrestrial Touch, a signature service that combined Earth's hands-on styling with custom-formulated products for each species. Their professional partnership soon blossomed into something more personal. Evenings found them experimenting with new style concepts in the salon after hours, their creative sessions often ending with conversations that stretched until station dawn, Vila's crystalline form casting rainbow patterns across Milo's skin as they sat close together. "I never expected to find someone like you out here," Milo confessed one night as they finalized designs for a new styling technique. "Someone who understands both the art and the connection." Vila's surface rippled with emotion, creating cascades of color. "My people believe that when two souls resonate at complementary frequencies, they create harmonies that neither could produce alone." Her fingers intertwined with his, their touch now familiar yet still electric. "I think we're creating something beautiful together." Their first kiss happened naturally that night. An experiment in sensation that left Milo's lips tingling with a pleasant hum and Vila's entire form glowing bright enough to illuminate the darkened salon. The next morning, fashion influencer Zal Degath, a popular trimorphic media personality with followers across 17 systems, arrived unannounced at Crest and Curl. "I simply must experience this human touch everyone's talking about," they announced, their 3 forms shifting continuously between different aesthetic presentations. "My audiences demand to know if it lives up to the hype." Thex practically vibrated with excitement. Specialist Jenkins will be honored to accommodate you. The styling session was broadcast live across the galactic network, with Milo demonstrating a customized treatment for each of Zal's three distinct morphological expressions. Vila assisted, their synchronized movements around the client drawing appreciative comments from viewers. By closing time, human styling had become the top trending topic across all major networks. Bookings flooded in so rapidly that the Salon's quantum reservation system briefly crashed. This changes everything, Thex declared, her crest fully extended in elation. We're no longer just a prestigious salon, we're trendsetters for the entire quadrant. As staff celebrated, only Krell remained apart, their wooden features unreadable. But Milo had little time to worry about his colleagues' continued resistance, not when Vila's hand was in his, her whispered suggestion of a private celebration sending pleasurable shivers across his skin. That night in Milo's quarters overlooking the station's garden dome, their professional collaboration evolved into intimate exploration, her crystalline form adapting to complement his human physiology in ways that left them both breathless and glowing. I never knew connection could feel like this, Vila murmured against his chest, her body pulsing with soft blue light that matched his heartbeat. Milo traced patterns along her shimmering surface, watching ripples of color follow his touch. Neither did I, and I think we're just getting started.